Hey, I'm Curly, and welcome back to From Zero in Zero, where I have created a brand new free-to-play Vanguard Zero account, and we're going through everything, and I will try and give you guys some tips and tricks along the way. For now, what we've gone over is sort of character fights, the importance of character fights, your stamina, somewhat basic things. Today we're going to go into a little bit more deeper in. I'm trying to do these again in chunks just to not overwhelm with so much information. But today we're actually going to be talking about rank fights. Hey everyone, it's Curly from the future here. We're going to interrupt Curly from the past here. And before we go into ranked fights, I wanted to just go over one, thank everyone for all the support on this, I guess, series so far. It's been really great to see that everyone's enjoying this so far. But also, there's a DICE event going on right now, and I kind of wanted to just go over that really quickly rather than waiting until, you know, the next upload of this and squeeze it into this one. Essentially, a DICE event is just a type of event that occurs in Vanguard Zero from time to time. The main goal of these is to be able to allow users to get event skins, which are just different skins of, you know, existing characters, with just, you know, different character models, different phrases. I don't think they have any different animations. They usually have whatever the latest animations of the latest skin is. And right now we have this event here, which is for Chrono and what's his name for Shadow Paladins. You can get both of their skins. Their skins look really cool. And essentially what you have to do with this, or rather in order to do this, is you have to go through this DICE event here. You have to roll some dice and you'll be able to walk on this field here. And what you do is, as it looks like, you know, a board game, you'll just go around and whatever you land on, you get something from it. I do want to point out very, very importantly, you're collecting cards in this event, but you will only use these cards in the event. Only in the event. You will not be using these cards in real life. You will not be owning these cards. These are just cards that you use in the event for a event fight. You do not own these cards, but you go around the board, you collect cards, only for the event, and you do that and you can go through it and you can get some event material that you can then use to exchange for stuff. You have here also some opponents that you can go ahead and fight, and they will always give you 300 of the material, so if you can, try and fight them. In general, there's also a lot of missions throughout the event, dailies that you can complete. You want to basically make sure you get this, what's his called, Vanguard here, in this spot here, because it allows you to very easily fulfill those missions. And those missions that you get daily, aside from the timed ones, are ones where throughout one run of the board, you have to get at least a minimum of 600 of the item for the event. And then you'll get, you know, extra dice. It's a very annoying mission at the start because the board is littered with cards, so you won't get as many, you know, of the event material. But if you hit the Vanguard bonus here, it'll give you a chance to spin, and you'll be able to then, ideally from that spin, get at least 600. The fight, I've realized that you do, the character fight that gives you the event material, that does not count towards your total from the board, which is really lame, so you have to like rely on this. So really the only tip or trick I can give you is try to use your special dice, which are dice that you get from landing on certain spaces or throughout the dailies and stuff like that. Make sure you save those. Try to use those both for landing on the first square, because once you land on that first square, you have a chance to get a bonus on the field, and that bonus gives you this Vanguard on board that you can go to, and then use your special dice to make sure that you can land on him early on. And ideally, you just want to clear it as quickly as possible, like get all the cards as quickly as possible, so that after that, all the cards leave the board, and it's just every space you land on will give you event material that you can then trade in for these skins. And you can also get cards from this, card packs, and also for My Room, that we, I think, are mentioning in this episode. You can get My Room stuff from that. But in any case, that's all I needed to say about this. Sorry for this being so quick, but I just wanted to make sure I got this in before this video came out and before the event is gone. But TLDR, it's just a fun event. You do not get the cards. You do not own the cards that you get in this event. It's just only for the event. You can get skins and packs. You just have to get the event material. You do that by rolling dice and landing on board and getting materials that way. And it's just a really simple event. Anyways, on to the actual video. So while you can go up against the computer and, get materials, clear missions, so on and so forth, you can also face off against other people inside the rank ladder. Likewise, you can face off against friends if you'd like for a friendly duel, or if you'd like to just match up with random people casually, there's also a mode for that as well. Ranked is pretty important when it comes to a free-to-play player, because there's a lot of rewards that you can get from ranked. As I mentioned before in the previous episode about the VP, how you want to every season make sure you get a lot of VP. Ideally the 100 million, or sorry, the million. Keep thinking about over triggers. Get the million so you can get your 10 packs. Because then throughout the month, that means you can get yourself a maximum of 30 packs for free. Essentially, you get 10 from each of the VP seasons. There's 2 in 1 month. And then you also typically get, actually it's more than that, it's 40, because you get 20 from login rewards. So you get 40 packs for a box, the current box throughout a whole month, which is, pretty decent. Unfortunately, you obviously can't get most of that until around the end of the month, but hey, free packs are free packs. And one of the ways to not only increase your VP, but also get gems and other rewards in doing so, is through ranked fights. Because character fights, while they let you do that, they also take up stamina. So it's finite how many character fights you can do during a day or at a time. You can rank fight as many times as you would like. And there's several different ranks that you have to go through. And to be honest, you want to just make it all the way up to legend as quickly as possible, ideally. The reason for this is that once you reach legend, 2 things happen. You won't go down in rank ever past legend. You'll always stay in legend, because once you hit legend, they become numbered. So it's like legend 1 to 300 or whatever. The numbers have actually hit that high. And also 2, you're also able to get even more ranked rewards, which in every season they're kind of actually themed around ranked rewards. Every season you can actually get free cards, actually. They always give out free triple rare cards, usually boss units that you can use in your deck, but they always give you a chance to actually get 4 of these. Some of them, you can even get extra copies of this card if you rank up even further and get, SP copies of them. But this is a very good way to get not only free cards, but also you can exchange these cards for materials, but also more importantly, you can just get these cards that you can use, and more often than not, they're cards that you'll need for a deck. And as I said, you can fight against friends. You can also go into the training grounds. You can do that if you want to try out a deck. Maybe get some VP. You get a little bit from that as well. That's also infinite. You can do that as many times as you want. But we actually have a mission here to actually go through a rank fight, so we're going to go through that really quickly. You start out at rookie rank and you got a long way to go to get through it. But I think the first couple of fights are actually against like computer players, if I remember correctly. Things might have changed since when I first was in rookie rank, which was a long time ago. You can tell by the fact that it matches you up right away that more than likely is a computer character. Once you get past a couple of ranks, you never ever see computer characters online. It's just the fact that, it's the first couple of ranks, so they want you to get used to it. You can also tell by the fact of the deck that they're playing, but we'll go through this rather quickly. Let's put away the PG. It'll be a little more risky here. Let's see what they're playing here. Yep, that is, that's not something you typically see, but alright. So we're going to go here into, whoops, our grade 1 here, and then go ahead and try and swing in here and end our turn. But yeah, the thing about ranked fights is that it may be not as important as it was in the past, because a lot of your key cards you can actually get in rank, and there was like a good several months where just every ranked rewards was just straight fire, like because it was just must-haves for a deck, so you didn't have to like go to a box to get it or anything like that. You didn't have to craft them, you can just play the game and get them. Whereas like now, yes, that is still the case. Cards that are like main boss units for your deck, for example, this Chrono Jet Dragon for Gear Chronicle, what was a rank reward way back when. Right now the rank reward is a grade 3 Asha, which is using Neo Nectar. That may be arguably a 4-of in that deck. I'm not too familiar, but I think it is, right? So you can very easily get a lot of these key cards. But the cards that are offered through rank rewards are not super hard to get anymore. Before they were a little bit more difficult because triple rare was the highest difficulty. Right now, not so much. So triple rare is kind of like kind of somewhat easy to get, just because of how much easier it is to do character fights and get materials, because they've made that a lot easier. Most of it doesn't really matter for anyone that's never played the game, but I'm just letting you know that yes, rank rewards are great, but the crafting system, if you may have heard from other players, is actually a lot better than what it used to be, and that your main priority isn't exactly triple rares, but these GRs, because these are really difficult to get. So whatever chance we can get to get these for free is really good, so we'll try and make use of that. But as of right now, we're just going to try and go through this fight here. So we are in a predicament here. We don't really have anything good in hand. I had to play the Chrono Jet last turn. Maybe it's not even worth striding, to be honest. This does nothing at the moment. Let's just do one of these. We might just be able to get away with just attacking 3 times. We'll see. Alright, that doesn't hit. I that was 14. That's fine. I get a draw trigger, which is fine. Just stride fodder. There's also a lot of terms that I kind of just say, like PG, stride fodder, stride, all that kind of stuff. The tutorials in the games do explain everything for you, which is why I kind of go and skip over all that stuff. I will, in the future, maybe go over them from time to time when I deem it necessary, but I guess we could just go to this. But in general, if you go through the tutorials, or definitely if you play Vanguard, but if you go through the tutorials, you know most of these things, but I don't want to bog you down with, trying to get you how to, get through the game, and then also bog you down now with how to play the game and like throw all of that all at once, right? I'm trying to give you everything sort of gradually so you can get through this. But we're gonna win our first rank fight here. Again, usually it's against real people. This was a simulated fight against a computer. Once you do that, you'll accumulate a certain amount of points, and then if you have enough points, you'll hit the next rank. And every time you hit a rank up, the first time, you actually get a reward for this. Sure, like. You actually do get a reward. There's also this clan level up, which isn't too great, to be honest. This is sort of like, if you ever play something like Duel Links, it's somewhat similar to that, where like if you level up a character, you get like rewards. This is sort of a worse version of that, because it's just the more you use a clan in a specific clan, doesn't have to be a character, but you use a clan in ranked, you level up that clan, get some rewards, but the rewards are not very big. The only really cool reward, other than that you do get, some gems, and then there's like 100 gems sneaking in there, is that you get some things like these sleeves that no one else has access to, or this banner that no one else has access to, because you only get that from maxing out your clan. That's about it. Everything else here, it's kind of difficult to like rely on this to get gems, especially considering you only get 10, and you only get about 20 for each rank fight, and the 100 here changes, gets bigger as you level up. But in any case, now we can go back. We're rank E3, which is fine for now. And I think I'll eventually maybe go over like maybe rank a little bit more in depth, but for now I really just wanted to go ahead and clear this. I wanted to make sure I was able to record our first rank match so that we could just go over that together. And we can get our grade up here. We get 100 gems, which is very nice. I guess I can go through my room stuff really quickly, since that's part of it. But that's rank fighting. So you want to do that whenever you're ready. You have whatever cards you can play with. If not, try to pick something somewhat competitive to see if you can just play in rank fights. Not so much to like make sure you're the top player and get to 100th in the ladder or whatever. It's just so you can try and get some rewards. And it's also the main like bulk of the enjoyment in this game is actually playing the game and playing against other people. If you just play against the computers, you're not really going to enjoy the game as much as you would against playing other people, trying out new decks, so on and so forth. So try your best to just enjoy rank, and if it gets too much, just don't do it. Take a break from it. It's all going to be okay. But I wanted to go over crafting next, but let's get over my room really quickly. So this is the section of the game where maybe you personally might be interested in this, but unfortunately I want to say like 99% of the community doesn't really care about this mod as much. And it's kind of just this little section of the game where you can customize and have your own like little room, and you can like buy little with like in-game money. You can buy different pieces of furniture, redecorate the room as you'd like. You can then buy like characters, little chibi characters from the anime and the series, and put them in your room, and they'll like walk around and talk and whatnot. So you can do that. This is the default room for the mission here. I think they want me to set a character. You can buy a bunch of these using this premium coin here, which you get from VP and I think from the daily rewards. You don't use that for anything else, so feel free to just use it whenever you have it. We're gonna go ahead and whoops. There we go. Set Aichi. There he is. And you can go to the shop and buy stuff. There's a bunch of little things you can buy. Let's buy him a chair so you can sit on it. I believe I have to. I believe that's what I have to do. Buy, and then let's go ahead and place this chair. He can have this here, right here in the corner, so you can think about how to beat Kai and whatnot. And you can also either visit your friends' rooms, or you can also just randomly visit people. This feature was used a lot more in the earlier stages of the game because there were dailies that required you to go to a random room and give it a like. And visit just random rooms once a day, give it a like. They removed that from the daily, so you really have no incentive to go here unless, of course, you enjoy that aspect. And also, during events that come up, there's not as many events. Before it used to be every single event. Now there's only a couple of them. You can actually exchange some of the event rewards for stuff that you can put in your My Room. Some of them are kind of cool, but me myself, I'm not very good at interior design, so this part was always very difficult for me. But anyways, that's my room. So now let's go over crafting really quickly. I feel like this is very important. Rank and crafting are very important. The next thing that's really important is going to be the opening boxes, because there's some tips and tricks for that, and then the final big portion is probably gonna be the event portion, for which I'm probably gonna have to make like another side account for that, but we'll get to that when we get to that. So as we mentioned last time, there are 5 different types of rarities for cards. There's common, rare, double rare, triple rare, and GR, which I think is generation rare, and that's in order from least rare to most rare. It's also in order from least costly to most costly. So common cards are super easy to craft, whereas GRs are very, very, very difficult to craft. which is why when you're pulling boxes or doing anything, these are usually your priorities, because you don't want to craft these. Everything else is typically craftable within the realm of possibility. GRs are extremely difficult to craft, and unfortunately that's just how it is. That's how the game incentivizes you to try and spend some money, or to try and use your gems in order to get boxes. I didn't build the game, that's just how it is. When you do character fights, you get most of these materials, which is why I'm sort of incentivizing you to use your stamina, refresh, pick only a certain clan, because you will get materials for those characters. And the way that this works is that there's 3, or I should say 5 different types of materials. I usually only focus on 3 of them, because I ignore the costly one and I ignore the easy one. But there's 5 different types of materials that you can use for crafting, and they each correspond to each of the rarities. Common material, rare material, double rare material, triple rare material, and GR material. And you can only get these materials whenever you fight a character, and then they'll drop that material if you win, and it'll be specific to that clan. So if you fight Aichi, who uses Warrior Paladin, or if you fight Chrono, who uses Gear Chronicle, you will get Warrior Paladin from fighting Aichi, or you'll get the Gear Chronicle material from fighting them and winning. But you won't get Gear Chronicle material from Aichi, and you won't get Warrior Paladin material from Chrono. So that's why it's not so much incentivized to just, fight against a bunch of characters. Initially, you do want to do that just to, max them out, get their friends, max out their stores so you can get all the rewards. But after that, you don't want to really fight all the characters just for fun, because you don't want to waste your stamina on them. You want to focus it on whatever clan it is that you're building toward, be it the clan that you mainly use or something that you want to try and play in the future, whatever the case may be. Because that is your biggest resource, is stamina and your materials, aside from the biggest one being time, of course. But to get you a sort of scope of how things work, this crafting material here, I don't even remember how to get it. We will eventually be able to get it pretty easily, but it can be used to craft common cards, which are the brown bronze frames one. You only need 100 of these. I've been playing for 2-3 days. I have enough to craft like 5,000 of these, right? So that one's super easy to get. Then you have the slightly harder one to get, which is the rare one. A rare card here has the sort of silver frame here. In order to craft a rare card, you need 100 of the rare material and then 200 of the previous material, the common material. And that's kind of going to be the trend going forward, where it's going to be 100 of the material that's equal to the rarity of the card, plus double of the previous ones. So for example, if we were to go to, I guess this is a double rare. If we wanted to look at a double rare here, which has the sort of gold or yellowish pattern here, this needs 100 double rare material, 200 rare material, and then 400 of the common material. Common material used to be really sort of like discarded and no one really cared about it because you would just get so much of it in the past. But now it's a little bit more scarce to be able to get it, and since you kind of need it for everything, it's becoming pretty important. And then, as you can probably guess from what I've said and just doing math, this is a triple rare, which has the like purple rainbowy, purple blue frame here. This needs 100 triple rare material, 200 double rare material, 400 rare material, and then 800 of the common material. So, which is why you definitely want to try and grind up against those characters you want. I have been fighting up against random characters, to be honest, just because of those rewards that are in the lifetime missions that I have to go through. And also, stuff for my dailies, plus stuff like the gems that I'm trying to get from everyone. So I haven't really been able to craft up for a lot. Considering that I am quote-unquote focusing on Gear Chronicle, this is what I have so far. I cannot really craft anything with this. The only thing that's available to me is common. And you can see the indicator here that shows you that the most you can craft right now is common cards. Finally, we can talk about GRs here. GRs are insanely expensive. Thankfully, they only need one type of material, but that is GR material. This one card to get one copy of this guy is 5,000 GR material. We've all been kind of hoping that they'll like tune this down, because typically when you craft a card, if you want to craft an SP of that card, it's usually somewhat like double the cost, right? Because it's like a shiny foiling, so fine, whatever. But for some reason, when it comes to GRs, it's the same price crafting a normal one or an SP copy of the card. So we thought maybe there was a bug initially, like, oh, maybe it's actually supposed to be, you know, 2,500, and that kind of seemed a little bit more reasonable. And you know, it's been about 9 sets later, and it is not a bug. It's a stark reality that everyone's trying to come to grips with. So this material at the start is very difficult to get. There's only really 1 or 2 ways to get this material. So for the most part, we're not going to be able to craft GRs anytime soon. I've been finding out ways to use the like empty space that's on that side on the right there, which I typically use for decks if I'm playing them. I feel like this should be, oh, you know what it is? It's because I have the, I was like, this is the wrong size, no? But what it is that I have the thing sticking out. There we go. So now it's the right size in the frame. Sorry. Anyways, I've been thinking about what to do on the right side here, and I'll see how long it takes us. I'll put up like some sort of counter to see how long it takes us till we can craft our first GR. So that's materials. You want to basically, as a free-to-play player, you are incentivized to not hit the gacha, because it is called a gacha for a reason. You just open random packs, hope for the best. Instead, you have the sort of agency to try and craft cards yourself, so you can craft just about any cards. There's only cards that are promotional cards that you can't craft, but 9 out of 10 times you don't need that card, and there are other versions of that card. It's just like a special art, so you don't have to worry about those cards. So you can craft every card in the game, which is very good. However, you have to just know how to get the materials for them, and that's kind of what I want this entire guide to be kind of focused on, is just trying to be able to craft stuff. Because otherwise, if you just try to hit the gacha, you're just going to get a bunch of random cards and not be able to have a solid deck. Whereas if you try to just craft your cards yourself, you'll be able to, you know, build up your deck and actually be able to use them. That being said, I know that's going to take a lot of time. It's way easier said than done, and the cards are stacked against you. This is a mobile, free-to-play gacha game. Their aim is to make money. That's just how capitalism is, right? So they don't want you to just craft everything. They want you to pay money. But we're going to try our god darn best to make sure we don't spend any money here. So that being said, we've gone over crafting. There's a few little tidbits, extra tidbits that we'll go over when it comes to crafting, but that's sort of the general gist. There's different types of materials that you can get. And the way you get these materials is from character fights. You can also get it if you open up a box, or I should say packs, and you get the same copy of a card that you already have 4 of. This is going to be important later on. But if you have 4 of a card already and you pull an extra copy, that 5th copy automatically gets turned into material, which is good. It just depends on what kind of box you're opening. If you're opening anything from the G era, it'll be turned into GR material. If you're opening anything from the previous era, it'll be turned into clan-specific material for that clan. Which means if you open for, if you get cards for a clan that you don't like, and you get multiple copies of it, then you get a bunch of materials that you can't use, which sucks, understandably. What they've done with the GR material that makes this a little bit easier is that it's universal. It can be used, for any clan in order to craft GRs. You can also craft a couple of other cards with this material, not just GRs, but there's very few cards that you can do that with. And whenever you get 4 copies of any card from any clan, if you get a 5th copy, that becomes GR materials that you can use in any clan to craft anything. Which, does make things a little bit more reasonable, but again, we're not getting a huge amount of these, and that just means we have to get a lot of them. A lot of cards, which again, kind of the game trying to incentivize you to open packs, spend money, so on and so forth. I'm trying to be as transparent as possible here because that's just how it is. But under all of this, I believe that there is a fun game that can be played. But in any case, I think that's enough about crafting for now. And we'll end things off here just with a little bit of, I guess, something that's a little timely. So if this is anywhere in the future, past October 2022, you can, I guess, skip this part. But yesterday we talked about some of the logins rewards we have, and how one of them was the championship medals, and how you had to go up against certain characters. In order to get all those lifetime rewards, you have to go up against the following characters 10 times in a row. Or not in a row, but just beat them 10 times. And those characters are Chrono, Shindo, Tokugawa Anjo, Shion Kiba, Kumi Okazaki, Kazuma Shoji, Taiyo Asukawa, Rin Hajima, not you, but Henry Hayo, and did I skip someone? No. And the last one here is Satoru Enishi here. So if you beat all of those, you'll get all of the medals. And those are also all the characters where, granted, while today is Saturday, everyone has the up arrow, but until the end of the month, they will give you, double the rewards that they usually do, no matter what. So if you want to grind against those clans, now's the best time to do that, so you can get those rewards. But we're gonna go ahead and claim that, along with all these other missions that we have here. So let's go ahead and finally claim these things. We're gonna get 2,400 medals from that, and I think that is it for those. Now, I didn't want to just show off and tell you how to do that, but I also want to go over the exchange really quickly while it's still available to us. So with those 24 medals there, I believe we'll get like maybe 300, 400 more from the login reward. But you can just go to the shop, go to the item exchange, and you'll find that listed under the U20 CS medal here. And you can just exchange it for packs here. And these are all packs for sets that are out right now for the G era, so the newer boxes. You can also do it for a playmat medal if you'd like. In order to get a playmat, you need 10 of these Omni medals. This gives you only 3. Skip tickets here are only used for events. I wouldn't really recommend getting this, especially as a new player. You really don't need to worry about using these medals for that specifically. And then Vanguard coupons, it's kind of a fucking trick, a gotcha here to make you spend 100 of these. This is just kind of like if you don't want anything else, like if you have everything from all these other boxes, you can get it. But you can go ahead and, exchange for any of these. You can take a look from the shop here. If you go to the gotcha section, and you'll be able to see, we might get a little message here about how to get, no? Okay. These are all of the boxes that you can exchange for. You'll get 3 of those for each. I think you might be able to get through all of them. But these are all the boxes here, and you can also just click the context here and it just shows you all the cards that you can possibly pull. I don't know if you can, and you can see here, take a look at the card, read the text if you'd like. It also shows you what clan it's for, which is mostly important. To, I guess, give you a general gist, this box here is the newest box. It has Royal Paladin, Gear Chronicle, and Neo Nectar. This one has some Angel Feather, but mainly Shadow Paladin and Gold Paladin stuff. This one is split in 2. This one is Gear Chronicle, Royal Paladin, Kagero, the Joker. This one is Grand Blue, Pale Moon, Bermuda Triangle, and Neo Nectar. This is Dark Regulars, Royal Paladins, Angel Feather, and Kagero. This one is Royal Paladins, Shadow Paladins, Kagero, Link Joker, Gear Chronicle, and also Neo Nectar. So that one's a big one. This one is mainly just Pale Moon, Grand Blue, and Aqua Force. This one here is Gear Chronicle Angels, same as the last one. Royal Paladin, Shadow Paladin, Angel Feather, Lake Joker, Gear Chronicle, and Neo Nectar. This one is mainly Link Joker, but there's also Gold Paladin and Shadow Paladin stuff. This one here is mainly Neo Nectar, but there's also Bermuda Triangle and Aquaforce stuff. And then this last one here is mainly Kagero, Gear Chronicle, and also Royal Paladin. Just to give you a quick and dirty rundown. I'm not going to go through every single card. Obviously, we don't have time for that, but just pick whatever you'd like. Take a look at the cards, use them how you want, but just make sure you use these rewards before they expire, is all I'm trying to get at. And that'll do it for this video. I guess in a quick recap, we went over rank, how that works. Ideally, you want to get up to Legend, so you can try and get some of the Legend rewards, which are really good. Other than that, we went over the crafting. You can craft any card in the game. Asterisk, there's a few cards you can't craft. It's usually just PRs, which are just alternate arts of cards. And your goal really, or your ideal, is to try and just craft these cards so you don't have to spend any money. If you can craft anything, you don't really have to spend any money to build cards. But it's not very easy to craft cards, which is sort of the purpose of this guide. As we go through it, we'll find more ways to make sure to do that. The best ways that we've gone through so far is just making good use of your stamina here. You always want it to be ticking down. You don't want it to be maxed out because you're not going to gain stamina. And stamina is really the only resource that you have that you can use in order to use for character fights, which then gives you materials, which you can then craft cards, which means you get to have free cards. And that's kind of the loop that you want to do. Use your stamina, do character fights, get cards. Or get materials, craft cards, have cards. But in any case, until next time, take care of yourself, play Vanguard, and have yourself a damn good one.